the last question is, as you are passing the BWB torch to me, what is your advice? Although passing it to me for a very short time because I'm kind of almost done.
I know. I'll kind of talk to you as like a graduating senior, I guess.
Yeah.
I think that like what we just talked about, continuing to support is super important. Like, again, we get the best experiences. We get so much gear. We get treated so well. And like a lot of that is because of strong our alumni is. And so like definitely just take advantage of that when you graduate, and like one day when there's games again, go to the games. Like we always love seeing bodies in those bare stands. So like it matters, you know, like everything you do matters, and it is important to like the girls in the program. Which that's what I've learned the past like year and a half. But then also like I know these are really weird times right now and really hard for you. You're transitioning from not having your senior season, and you don't know what, I'm sure like you're probably scared of what the future's going to hold, but I would say like keep supporting the younger girls on the team, like because like your position as a senior and a leader is so important to them, like how you have like your mindset on bonding team events or whatever it is. Like if you guys create a really good environment, which I know you do because like everyone does, they'll remember that. Like they'll remember you guys for how positive you were during like a really unfortunate year, you know? So like we always say leave a legacy, and I think that's like a huge opportunity to leave that legacy this year, especially because it's just like unforeseen time. So I think that's like definitely important. I know it's probably something that you may like lose track of or not really focus on because it's so hard, but it definitely matters for those like younger girls.
For sure. I agree. Wow, good advice.
As you are passing the BWB torch to me, what is your advice?
My advice is,
I need a lot of help, so this better be good.
No, it's like, it's so simple. It's just like, don't take it for granted, because it's hard not to. I mean, I know you have COVID, so of course it's been taken away from you and you have a different perspective than maybe we did when we were there. But I would say, when I say don't take it for granted, don't take any of it for granted. Don't take like your time on campus for granted. Don't take the adversity you're facing now for granted. Soak it up, and like sometimes you're in situations where you're like, oh, this sucks. But like in reality, it is literally, no matter how bad it is, the best time ever. And when you leave and you're like working an office job or whatever you decide to do, no matter what you do, even if you like it, it's never going to compare. Like, cause the thing for me is like, what Noelle said, you're never going to, the relationships you're building and the experiences you're getting, you're never going to get anything even close to that, like ever. When you're in the workplace, you have to follow like a certain like professional code. So like you can't really like be the way you are, and you don't have that close knit, like you're not fighting with the person next to you towards like a common goal. That's like the emotions in you that are evoked through basketball, you're never going to get that through anything else, really, I would say. So just don't take it for granted, and honestly give everything you have for every single play, because once it's over, it's over. You can never go, oh, I wish I like gave a little bit more that day, or would have done this instead. If I could go back, I would do this, because you can't go back. I'm like, you can't go back, and that's that. So I would just say, literally, no,
it's very true. It's very true, yeah. And just even like
all that.
And also too, just like living in a community that's like literally 100% people your age is so sick, and it's like, I mean, like if once you like a couple years like you working like all day and stuff, like, oh, do you want to come over? It's like, yeah, I do. Like in the morning I did. Then like the day happens and I'm like not really anymore. Like I'm really tired actually. And it's like, but when you're in college, it's like, who cares? Like it's 3 a.m. Like let's go to like someone's dorm. It's like, do it. Like it's so awesome just being able to like live in a community with everyone your age at all times. Really, like you have responsibilities, yes, but you know you don't at the same time. And so it's like soak it up, and like if you think that like if you should, I kind of want to do it, should I do it? Like if it like follows your moral compass, like I would suggest always do it.
Yeah, going off of Heather, I think for the first part of college I didn't do a lot of stuff with I mean, I hung out with my teammates and then I got close to them, but some of the stuff I would miss out on because like I was just focused elsewhere during college. And I would just reiterate Heather and saying like, if there's an opportunity to go hang out with your team or go like do something, pumpkin picking, whatever it is, go do it, because that's the time like you're not gonna get back. Like you can stay laid up in a room with somebody, boyfriend, or like whatever, but like having that connection and those experiences with your teammates is the thing that you're gonna hold on to like years later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I think one thing I wish I did more of was befriend more non-athletes. I felt like, well, obviously I'm really grateful that all of my best friends are from BWB and I would never trade that, but I also think that it's important to have friends outside of sports, and just like the more friends the better, because you know it's funny because I run into people that went to Brandeis all the time in New York, and like I wasn't close to them in college, but I'm close to them now, like after college. And the only really similarity is that we went to the same school. Like I did not talk to these people at all before, before seeing them now. And then I just really agree with what Hannah, Heather, and Noe said. Like it goes super quick. You got to make the most of your time. Like if something negative happens or you have a bad game or a bad play, like don't dwell on it. Like the past is the past. Learn from it. Get better. Be better. And then like just know that these girls that you're with right now are your best friends now, but they'll be your best friends in the future, maybe future bridesmaids, maybe even godmothers. Like just soak it all in.
I think for real, just enjoy it. It really, like I said before, it goes so fast. So just do whatever you can and laugh as much as you can and hang out with everybody as long as you can. And it just like, man, I don't even know how old I am. I won't say how old I am anymore, but it feels like yesterday I was there. So just enjoy it and, you know, be a college kid. It's a good time.
23, which is the last question, is as you are passing the BWB torch to me, what is your advice?
So I would say number one, work hard, right? Number two would be, again, just embrace the challenges. I get it. Your 4 years are not going to be easy. It's going to go fast, but it's not going to be easy. You guys have professors that are going to push you. Your coaches are going to be pushing you. You've got friends and relationships and family and work. And like, there's a lot going on when you're a student athlete. But no, like learn to roll with it. Because again, those challenges are just going to prepare you. And with that, just enjoy it. Like take it in stride and enjoy every moment that you have, because you know, life will go on. You'll have awesome experiences, but you'll just never have the same experience of what it is to be a student athlete for 4 years through college. You'll never have that again. So enjoy it.
I will. I'm learning. I did a post-grad year at Pomfret School in Connecticut, and it wasn't the best thing ever, just because obviously when you do post-grad year, you see your friends go to college, you're like, oh, I wish that was me, but I didn't know I wanted to go to school. And now even looking back on that 1 year, I'm like, there was so much more I could have appreciated. I learned so much that I would have never learned. And now I have like this different perspective into college, because now I'm like, okay, like even if there's something I don't enjoy, I'm going to learn from it and I'm going to remember it for certain reasons that may help me in the future. So I definitely hear where you're coming from. Like, it's so true. You never have those same moments again.
That's a great attitude to have.
Yeah.
Are you passing the BWB torch to me? What is your advice? Oh, wait, I said that wrong.
Sure, I'll pass the torch to you. Just, you know, practice hard. Every practice matters. And there's one thing Carol taught me, and I use it to this day. I don't play basketball anymore, but I still compete. And you play like you practice. So practice as hard as you would in every game, and it will help get you to the next level. Even if when you're working and like just doing the mundane Excel spreadsheet, if you do it carefully and well, it's going to translate to the next level. So it's I have found it words to live by for sure. And use your elbows and your whole body.
Yeah.
Everybody hated my elbows. And I got to the point where I didn't know I was doing it anymore. And then I just started sharpening them so I could make myself as big as possible.
Yes, of course.
It works. Yeah.
This is the last question. As you are passing the BWB torch to me, what is your advice?
Oh, what a question. You can do things that you think you can't do. And even things that you haven't conceptualized yet, you're capable of doing. And you're probably not going to realize that until you graduate. But I think that choosing to play basketball at Brandeis was a good choice.
So I guess last question to wrap it up.
Last question.
As you're passing down the BWB torch to me, what would your advice be?
Let's see. Take your friendships with you, keep them close at heart. There's a whole world out there, you know, you can find basketball anywhere. I mean, I found it in Heidelberg, Germany. And then I came home and I found a team to play in. Or if you can't play basketball, you can do other things. I mean, and don't give up that competitive spirit. It just makes you stronger. I think you can instill it when you have daughters.
Yeah.
Make sure they have that competitive spirit. Don't tell them they can go home and miss practice for whatever reason. You know, I think that developing that competitive spirit is good for women and girls, and they need to see it, I think.
I agree.
Okay. All right, Sophie. It's been fun.
Yeah, it has been fun.
As you are passing the BW torch to me, what is your advice?
Don't piss off Carol. Don't do anything she tells you not to do. Definitely number one. There's definitely like black and white and then gray. If you're like interested in finding the gray line, probably don't. It's not really worth it. I've been there. It's not worth it. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. I mean, I don't know your like personal situation, but like if your like parents are really involved and like love going to your games and like you talk to them about it, like enjoy that. It goes away and then you're gonna kind of miss that. You'll find different ways to relate to them and talk to them, but you don't really realize it, but like how much like your parents put into it. The weekends, like driving to AAU tournaments. I was home this weekend. I was driving down to New Jersey with my mom to visit my brother and nephew, and I was just like, you drove so many hours all the time, whether it was before college or during college, whether you were driving to Waltham or flying to a game. Like just enjoy all the moments you have with all the people that you interact with, whether it's family, friends, teammates, opponents. Like it's really cool. Like probably as you had in high school, just like when you get into conference, you're playing against the same people. So like kind of building those relationships and just kind of like taking advantage of being in the UAA in general. Like you're playing against some of the best D3 athletes from some of the best schools in the country. And you guys have that like commonality. I think it's really cool that you can like meet people that you don't see every day and like kind of like build relationships with them and just overall take advantage of like the opportunity is kind of what I guess my overall torch given advice would be. I don't know. I guess some of my regrets probably is that I didn't take as much advantage of it as I could have. So kind of do as I say, not as I do type advice, I suppose.
Yeah.
And last question, so the last one. As you're passing the BWB torch to me, what is your advice?
I think my advice is like enjoy it while it lasts. Like playing at school, like playing basketball, playing with all my teammates was the most fun and like such an incredible time. So definitely enjoy it while it lasts, but also remember that like, especially because you're a senior and you know, like you're about to graduate, like enjoy it while it lasts, like be super happy and it's exciting and stuff, but also keep in mind that like it doesn't end when you graduate. Like I said, I still talk to all of my teammates like every day, and they're like my best friends for life, my sisters for life. So like, enjoy it while it lasts, but don't kind of like feel like you're ending on like everything is closing and like your life is over and like all this stuff. Like it just gets better. Like your relationship with your teammates and the girls you're graduating with, I think is just going to get better. And it's something that you're going to be able to kind of like hold on to for the rest of your life. So it's just, enjoy it, but also like don't be super sad or anything. Like it's just going to be more fun, and everybody's so close. You obviously see that with the girls who have graduated that like you've played with. So enjoy it while it lasts, but definitely like it doesn't really change much once you graduate. You're all still going to be best friends.
I think especially today, like it helps to hear that for sure.
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely. Like, yeah, I mean, I talk to everybody every day. Like, they're my best friends. If anything, we're closer after college than we are in college. Like, don't like I'd be really sad if I were you. Like, I'd be really sad. But it's just gonna get better afterwards. Like you don't have to go to practice. There's no 48-hour rule. You can like stay up late in each other's apartments, like do whatever you want, like all that stuff. Like it just gets better.
Awesome.
So the final question is, as you're passing the BWB torch to me, what is your advice?
As you go on and you'll be graduating here, I would just say be fearless. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Ask questions when you don't know. I think we're going to learn for the rest of our lives. So you might as well take every advantage of that and do what you can to put your best foot forward at all times.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. And as you are passing the BWB torch to me, what is your advice?
Love Brandeis.
I do.
No, it sounds like you're on the right track, believe me. I mean, from the beginning when you said, I decided I wanted to come to Brandeis, I wanted to transfer. Yeah, you me sold.
Yeah. No, Brandeis is incredible. I feel like also everything I own is like, like, yes.
Yep.
My
This is
is blue.
And I have my hat too.
Yeah.
I didn't know what
Nice. So mine isn't technically an official shirt, but this is our seniors. This was our senior class, and we all had these shirts, and everybody got one.
I see. Okay, I was wondering about that. I was like, this looks interesting. Like,
yeah, oh, nice. That's good.
Like the Gators, we have masks.
Oh, I like the mask.
Yeah, they're cool.
Casey. We should get masks at least.
Those better be in the team shop, and I better be getting a discount code for doing this, Carol. I want some new gear. I'm a little bit larger than when I played. I need some bigger stuff.
Okay.
And last big one, ready? As you are passing the BWB torch to me, what is your advice?
Oh boy. This was a tough one. I would say don't take your time for granted there for sure. Go to class as much as you can. And just maximize, there's stuff that, if I could go back, I would say, oh, I wish I would have done this, or I would have gone to this, the opportunities that are presented to you as part of the athletics program and even the Brandeis community at large. Even though it might be outside of your comfort zone, go. I didn't learn to do that until I was out of grad school. And so I really think I missed a lot of opportunities that could have presented themselves a lot sooner. So do that. Growth occurs outside of the comfort zone, as cliche as that sounds. So do it.
All right, thank you.
As you are passing the BWB torch to me, what is your advice?
I thought I passed this torch off 13 years ago. But my advice is definitely to cherish the time you have with your teammates and friends. You're not always going to live in the same room down the hall or even across campus from your new best friends. So cherish every moment. Don't spend it staring at your phones.
Yeah.
Pick up in adult leagues. They just aren't the same, especially with COVID. I haven't played now since March. Lastly, don't get out of shape because it's much easier to get out of than it is to get back in. And it gets worse the older you get.
I guess then I have one more question. As you're passing the BWB torch on to me, do you have any advice for me specifically?
For me, I would just be like, have so much fun, play hard, work hard. You'll never regret working harder. You know what I mean? And
Definitely.
just cherish the relationships because it goes by so fast, and then you're going to be out in the world and scattered, and just enjoy it. And I think with COVID, you guys kind of realize this even more.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, and something I think I forgot to mention is, for me, I was in a unique situation because I grew up in Waltham. So I was from 3 miles away, but I lived on campus, and my parents came to every game. So to have my family there and pretty much supporting me all the time was, I don't know, that was really important and helpful for me to play. And I think that even for the other kids, like for Lara, my mother knew that her parents weren't going to be able to come every game. So it was always like, oh, Lara, do you need anything? Here's some snacks and here's this. And what else can I do for you? And, Lara could come to my house and, meet my family. And I had a foster brother at the time who had a crush on Lara. He was 7. He would put on cologne. He would go to my dad's and he would say, can I have some of that stuff? And he would put on some cologne when Lara came over. And then he would just walk around and Lara would be like, oh, whoa, don't you smell nice? Do you remember that, Lara?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So yeah, it was kind of cool to have my parents be there. And I remember one time at Mount Holyoke, I was warming up and I kept looking around and my parents weren't there yet. And I kept looking and then we started the game and I was missing everything. And Carol was like, they're gonna come, don't worry. And I just couldn't focus until they got there. So yeah, and my sister and I played freshman year together. But then she had to stop because she had a knee injury. But it was kind of cool to have my sister around as well. I think I would say, I'm going to use Lara's name as an acronym, I think, because I think leadership, so for Lara, the L I think is leadership. I mean, that is probably one of the most paramount things in a team. And if you don't have it, things just don't go as well, in my opinion. And then I think the attitude, your teammates' attitudes, I mean, it's contagious and you can make a long, hard practice great or miserable depending on your attitude. And the whole mindset, I think the attitude and mindset, if your mentality, is always thinking what we can do in the situation, not what's bad, but what's good, that's something I think you could take. Can you hear me, Lara? I can see you moving.
Yes. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. And then I think the R, I think, would be respect. And I think respecting so many things, and it's like your teammates, your coaches, yourself. And I think that respect your opponents. I mean, I look back at some of the opponents we played and how much I, in a way, hated them. And then I'm like, wow, but actually they're just like me and they're just people. And I would pick them on my team any day if I had to play another game, because those are the people the ones you hate to play against are the ones you want to play with.
Right.
And yeah, I think that respect is a really important thing. And then I guess being adaptable, because you never know, like we said before, what's going to happen in a season or a game or what changes. And, for me, one of the hardest things in my whole career was having Lara get injured. And, if I had to do that day again, I would have made sure she didn't get hurt because you know, to not be able to play with Lara changed the game, changed my whole career.
Thank you. I really appreciate you both taking the time to speak to me. I really enjoyed it. You guys are so funny.
Yeah.
The last question, as you're passing the BWB torch to me, what is your advice?
You know, there's a lot of things I would say, and hopefully I've touched on some things, but I kind of mentioned it, but like be honest and true to yourself. And you know, I think I said that I came in trying to impress people, but that's not what made me friends and made our family. So, you know, and like there were some people that didn't make it all the way through, but like I think that's the right answer for them too. You know, if you're not loving what you're doing and you don't feel good in the space you're in, like change it. And if like, not that I think everybody should do 4 years, like it was incredible, but I think that there are some people that just wasn't right for, and I think that is important for everyone to be honest with yourself and make the best decisions for you. Obviously be compassionate towards others, but take care of yourself and let yourself have what you want, you know?